Dear friends, today I want to talk about something that each of us will face sooner or later: the anniversary of losing a loved one. I know that many of you are currently going through this difficult time as the calendar relentlessly approaches a date that changed your life forever. It seems that time should heal, but sometimes, as this day draws near, the pain resurfaces with new intensity. In such moments, it may feel like you are completely alone in your grief, that no one around you understands why, even after a year, two, or more, this date remains so significant to you. Why, on the eve of this day, memories flood back, why you feel like crying again, or, on the contrary, withdrawing from everyone to be alone with your thoughts. I want you to know that this is absolutely normal. Every feeling you experience has the right to exist: longing, sadness, anger, emptiness, or even guilt. These emotions are all natural and understandable. There's nothing shameful or wrong about them. They reflect how important that person was to you and how deep your relationship was. The anniversary of a loss is a special day, a day when our memory sharpens, when every detail and every recollection becomes incredibly vivid. You may notice that, weeks before this date, you start feeling anxious. Perhaps you find it hard to focus on daily tasks, or on the contrary, you bury yourself in work, trying to distract yourself from heavy thoughts. Today, we will talk about how to get through this day without allowing grief to consume you completely. How to find ways to honor the memory of your loved one while continuing to live your life. I will share practical advice and discuss what helps others cope with similar moments. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, and together, we will surely find a way to make this day a little easier. For many of us, the anniversary of a loss becomes an especially difficult time, and it is important to understand why our body reacts so strongly to the approach of this date. Our memory works in an astonishing way. It stores not only the events themselves, but also the physical sensations, smells, and sounds associated with them. When a significant date approaches, all these memories seem to come alive, becoming more vivid and intense. Psychologists call this phenomenon an anniversary reaction. During this time, our body and psyche seem to return to the very day the loss occurred. We may experience the same physical sensations: insomnia, loss of appetite, fatigue. Anxious thoughts may arise, and dreams may become more vivid. Some people notice that they become more irritable, while others sink into apathy. It is important to remember that this reaction is not a sign that you are stuck in the past or unable to move on. It is a natural process that our psyche undergoes while trying to comprehend and accept the loss. Just as our body remembers significant events, the first day of school, a wedding, or the birth of a child, it also remembers the days of loss. Each person experiences this period in their own way. Some feel the need to talk about their loved one, to share memories. Others, on the contrary, seek solitude and silence. Some immerse themselves in work, while others find comfort in specific activities. It is also common to start questioning oneself, reassessing the past, and wondering, what if? Often, the anniversary of a loss affects not only the exact day of the passing, but also the weeks before and after. This is a time when we remember, with particular clarity, the last days spent with our loved one, the last conversations, the last meetings. You may feel the urge to reread old messages, look through photographs, or, on the contrary, put all reminders away. In such moments, it is especially important to understand that whatever your reaction may be, it is valid. There is no right or wrong way to experience the anniversary of a loss. There is only your personal path, and it deserves respect and understanding. Preparing for the significant date can greatly ease the experience. When we plan this day in advance, we feel more confident and protected. Let's talk about how to prepare for this challenging time so that it becomes not only a day of sorrow, but also an opportunity to honor the memory of your loved one. First and foremost, it is important to acknowledge that this day will be special. It is not helpful to pretend that nothing is happening or to try to go through it as just another ordinary day. Many people find that ignoring the significance of the date only increases internal tension. It is better to decide in advance whether you want to take the day off work or, on the contrary, keep yourself busy with routine tasks. Think about whom you would like to spend this day with. Perhaps you want to gather close friends and family who also remember and loved the person who passed. Or you may prefer to be alone, and that is absolutely fine too. The key is to inform those around you of your decision in advance to avoid misunderstandings or awkward situations. You can create your own special ritual of remembrance. This could be anything: visiting a meaningful place, preparing your loved one's favorite meal, looking through photographs, planting a tree or a flower in their memory. Some people find comfort in writing a letter to their loved one, telling them about the events that have happened over the past year. It is worth thinking in advance about what you might need on this day. Perhaps it will be photographs, sentimental objects, or music that reminds you of your loved one. Or on the contrary, you may need something to help distract yourself: a favorite book, a movie, or calm music for meditation. It is very important to take care of your physical well-being. In the days leading up to the anniversary, try to get enough sleep, eat well, and make time for walks in the fresh air. Our emotional state is closely connected to our physical health, and taking care of your body will help you better cope with the emotional burden. Remember that preparing for a memorial date is not about grieving correctly. It is about taking care of yourself and creating space for your emotions, whatever they may be. There are many ways to spend the anniversary of a loss, and each of them can be a unique way to honor your loved one's memory. I will share some ideas, and you can choose the one that resonates most with you. Many people find comfort in creating a special atmosphere of remembrance. This could be lighting a candle, playing your loved one's favorite music, or placing photographs on the table. Some create a small memorial altar where they collect meaningful items: a favorite cup, a book, a piece of jewelry, or other things connected to their loved one. Doing something creative in memory of a loved one can be very helpful. For example, you can plant a tree or flowers, engage in artistic activities, paint a picture, write a poem, or compose a song. Some people start keeping a memory journal, writing down life stories they want to preserve. This helps transform the pain of loss into something beautiful and lasting. Acts of kindness in memory of a person can also become a special tradition. You can make a donation to a charity related to something that was important to your loved one, or spend the day helping others. This could be volunteering at an animal shelter if your loved one cared for animals, or assisting at a library if they loved books. Spending time with those who also remember and love the departed can bring special comfort. You can gather together, prepare your loved one's favorite dishes, share memories, watch old videos, or look through photographs. Such meetings help you feel that the memory of the person lives on, not only in your heart. Physical activity can also be a way to honor their memory. You can take a walk through places your loved one cherished, organize a small trip to a meaningful location, or simply spend time in nature, reflecting and remembering. Movement helps cope with heavy emotions and provides an opportunity to be alone with your thoughts. Some people prefer to spend this day in silence and solitude, meditating or simply contemplating the impact their loved one had on their life. This time can be an opportunity to thank them for everything they brought into your life, for the lessons and experiences that will stay with you forever. On the anniversary of a loss, we may face very intense emotions, and it is important to know how to handle them. Sometimes feelings come in waves, becoming so overwhelming that it seems impossible to cope. But there are ways to help you get through these difficult moments. If you feel overwhelmed by emotions, the first thing to do is slow down and focus on your breathing. Take several slow, deep breaths. You can place a hand on your stomach and feel it rise and fall with each breath. This simple action helps restore a sense of control and ground yourself in the present moment. The grounding method through the senses is very helpful. Identify 5 things you can see right now, 4 things you can touch, 3 sounds you can hear, 2 scents you can smell, and 1 taste you can perceive. This exercise brings us back to the present moment when painful memories become too overwhelming. If anxiety or panic sets in, try a simple physical action. You can wash your hands with cool water, hold an ice cube in your hands, do a few simple physical exercises, or simply take a walk. Physical activity helps the body manage the release of stress hormones. It is important to remember that tears are normal. If you feel like crying, allow yourself to do so. Crying is a natural way for our body to process intense emotions. After we let out our tears, we often feel relief. There is no need to be ashamed of crying or try to hold back tears. Many people find comfort in talking to a photograph of their loved one or writing them a letter. You can express your feelings, talk about how the year has gone, what has changed in your life. Some find solace in keeping a journal or recording audio of their thoughts and emotions. If emotions become completely unbearable, it is crucial not to remain alone. Call a close person who understands your situation. Sometimes just hearing a familiar voice or being near someone, even in silence, is enough. Remember that asking for support is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom and self care. There are moments in everyone's life when outside support becomes necessary. This is especially important during the anniversary of a loss, when our emotions can become particularly intense. Let's talk about how to recognize when it is time to seek help and where to turn. Pay attention to your condition if you notice that your sleep patterns have changed. You are barely sleeping, or, on the contrary, sleeping too much. If your appetite has disappeared or your eating habits have changed. If you have stopped finding joy in things that used to make you happy, are avoiding contact with loved ones, feel constant fatigue, or cannot concentrate on daily activities for more than 2 weeks. These are signs that you need professional help. It is especially important to be alert if thoughts of life being meaningless arise, or if life feels unbearable. In such moments, do not stay alone with your thoughts. Remember that there are 24-hour helplines with professionals ready to listen and support you at any time of the day or night. Support groups for people experiencing loss can be very helpful. In such groups, you can meet people who are going through a similar experience. Here, you can speak openly about your feelings without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. Group members share their experiences and what helped them cope with difficult moments. Individual work with a psychologist is an opportunity to receive professional support and tools for dealing with grief. A specialist can help you understand your emotions, find ways to manage difficult feelings, and gradually adapt to life after loss. Today, this kind of help is available not only in person but also online. Sometimes loved ones may advise us to pull ourselves together or distract ourselves, but you may feel that this is not helping. In such moments, it is important to remember that seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it shows that you are taking care of yourself and your mental health. It is just as natural a step as going to a doctor when experiencing a physical illness. Remember that help is available, and you have the right to receive it. There is no need to wait until things become unbearable. The sooner you seek support, the easier it will be to get through this difficult period. Supporting someone who is experiencing the anniversary of a loss requires special sensitivity and understanding. Often, we do not know how to properly help a loved one in such a situation. We are afraid of saying the wrong thing or making the pain worse. But silence and withdrawal can hurt more than awkward words. The most important thing is simply to be there. There is no need to search for special words or try to cheer the person up. It is enough to say, "I know this is a difficult time for you. I am here." You can simply call or send a message, showing that you remember and support them. It is very important not to devalue the person's feelings with phrases like, "It's time to move on," or "You need to let go and keep living." Everyone experiences grief at their own pace, and there is no set time frame for when one should stop being sad. It is better to ask, "How do you feel? Would you like to talk about it?" Offer specific help instead of general phrases like, "Let me know if you need anything." For example, you can say, "I can bring you some groceries," or "I can watch the kids if you need some time alone." Practical help can be a great source of support on a difficult day. If the person wants to talk about their loved one who has passed away, listen. Do not interrupt or try to shift the topic to something more positive. Memories, even sad ones, help to cope with the pain of loss. You can also share your own memories of the person who passed away. This shows that their memory is alive not only in the grieving person's heart. Respect the person's desire to be alone if they ask for it. Some people find it easier to get through such days in solitude, but let them know that you are available and ready to help at any moment. Sometimes, a simple message is enough. "I'm thinking of you. If you want to talk, I'm here." Remember that support is needed not only on the anniversary itself, but also in the days before and after. Be attentive to changes in your loved one's behavior. Sometimes, a simple, "How are you?" can open the door to an important conversation and an opportunity to support them during a difficult period. As we conclude our discussion on how to cope with the anniversary of a loss, I want to remind you of the most important thing. Each of us experiences grief in our own way, and there is no right or wrong way to go through it. What helps one person may not be suitable for another, and that is completely normal. The memory of a loved one is not just the pain of loss, but also a source of strength. The qualities your loved one had, the lessons they taught you, the love you shared, all of this remains with you forever. It becomes part of who you are, helping you grow and move forward. Over time, the sharp pain of loss can transform into something new, into gratitude for having had that person in your life, into warm memories of the moments you shared, into a desire to carry out the dreams and goals that were important to them. The anniversary of a loss does not have to be just a day of mourning. It can also be a day of remembrance and gratitude. Perhaps, over time, you will find your own special way to spend this day by doing something meaningful in memory of your loved one. It could be anything that helps preserve their bright memory and brings benefit to others. Remember that taking care of yourself on such days is not selfish. Your loved one would surely want you to be happy, to live fully, to smile, and find joy even in their absence. That is why it is so important to find a balance between remembering those who have passed and taking care of your own well-being. If you feel now that the pain will never subside, know that this is not true. Time does not erase the memory of a loved one, but it helps you learn to live with the loss. Gradually, bright memories begin to outweigh the bitterness of loss. And although that person will always be a part of your life, you will learn to move forward, carrying in your heart gratitude for the time you spent together. Take care of yourself and remember, you are not alone on this journey. There are always people around you who are ready to support you in difficult moments. Life goes on, and there will still be many bright moments to experience with love and gratitude for those who will remain in our hearts forever. And finally, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope it has helped you find support and understanding during a challenging time in your life. If you found this material helpful, subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about important topics that concern each of us. Turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you next time.